Hi, my name is Valdirio, and in this video, I'm going to present you my final work in this amazing course called CS50. So let's go to the video. This presentation is related to the project that I call CACert webUI. The GitHub account is Valdirio. EDX account is also Valdirio. I'm based on New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada, West Coast, and the date of this presentation is August 17th, 2025. Basically, in this video, I'm going to cover the root CA, intermediate CA, and server certificates. Those components are very important when working with encryption, for example, HTTPS or any sort of SSL or TLS. Let's now understand the flow, the complete flow of how this works. We have the root CA, then we have the intermediate CA. In general, root CA will just sign the certificates of intermediate CA. And the intermediate CA is the one that will be signing the customer certificates. So let's suppose that I have my server certificate and I would like to be work with HTTPS column/valdirio.com. So I would like to request that certificate. The process basically is this. I'm going to create a private key. From that private key, I'm going to create a CSR, aka certificate signing request. That CSR, I'm going to send to the intermediate CA. And I will say, hey, could you sign this one for me? This will cost some money, or eventually you have some free options. But basically what will happen is the intermediate CA is going to get that CSR, will sign that CSR. As a result, will be created a certificate, a signed certificate. And we have a very important point here as well called CA chain, which is the root and intermediate CA certs. Once you have this done, the certificate is going to be sent back to the customer, in this case me, because I'm the one requesting the certificate for Valdirio.com. And I also need the CA chain, because I need to know the root CA and the intermediate CA responsible to sign that certificate. At the end of the day, what I need is the private key, the signed certificate, and the CA chain, aka bundle. Let's take a look at this example. I'm just doing a simple command against harvard.edu, and from here we can see the certificate chain. Here we can see the subject, and the subject is harvard.edu. In the same place or in the same chain, I can see the issuer, the responsible to sign, the intermediate responsible to sign the issue for harvard.edu is the company Let's Encrypt. Then if we move it on to the next one in the chain, we can see the subject here is Let's Encrypt, and the issuer, the one responsible to sign the certificate for Let's Encrypt, is Internet Secure Research Group. And at the end of the line, you can see root, which means Internet Secure Research Group is the root CA, and Let's Encrypt is the intermediate CA. All right, let's move it on to the demo. This is the app interface. So as you can see, we have the root CA, intermediate CA, bundle, signed certificate, and custom SSL certs. And over here, I put like under the hood, and then we can see what's going on at the directory level. So let's use our use case just to see how this matches with this application. We have the root CA. I would like to mimic this environment. So I can click on my root CA, create. I have already some information, but you can definitely change all of them if you wish. You can just hit submit and your root CA will be created. Then we can see under the hood, we can see the structure, the files that got created, and also the private key and the certificates. Return to the use case, we have the intermediate CA. If I click on my intermediate CA, I can verify there is no intermediate at this moment, but I can create. And then again, you can change any information over here, but I'm going to keep the standard. And my intermediate got created. And we can see over here, we have the intermediate folder with all the information, all the folders, and all the certificates. If we come back, we can also verify. I can see that this certificate is the intermediate, and this one was signed by the root CA. And this is awesome. I can also verify this certificate against the root CA, and I can see this okay, which means this is working as expected. So the next point is I would like to create this request. And how do I create the request? I create the private key. In a sequence, I'm going to create the CSR. So let's come back to the application. There is this custom SSL cert. There is no certificate here yet. I can just click on create custom SSL certs. And in our case, I'm going to be using Valdirio.com. You can fill the whole form, but the requirement at this moment is common name and one entry for our subject alternative name. Once I do that, I can submit, and now I can see. There you go. I have my common name, Valdirio.com. I have my private key. If we return, we can see this is the private key. And I have my CSR, certificate signing request. From here, I can download my private key. So let me click on link. I have already the folder. Let me save. And I'm going to download also the CSR. And if we take a look in the folder right now, I can see that I have my private key and I also have my CSR file or my certificate signing request. The next step is I need to send this to my intermediate CA, and this is the purpose of this application. I'm creating this whole environment. The intermediate is going to sign this CSR. After that, as an output, will be created a certificate. And another very important part here is the CA chain, which is a combination of the root CA certificate and intermediate certificate. So how to do that in our application? We can click on Sign Certificates. Let's click on Choose File. I can pick the CSR file and upload. And then we can see some additional information, like the signature is okay. I can see the common name pointed to webUI.com. I can see the dates, the period that this certificate is going to be valid. And I can also see my subject alternative name entry, which is webUI.com. This certificate was created. Can I download this one? Yes. Let's just click on this. Let me save. And if we return to our presentation, the information that will be sent to me is the certificate and also the CA chain. Those are the three very important files that I need for this whole process: the private key, the signed certificate, and the CA chain. So if we return, let's do a double check. We have the private key over here. We have the sign. In this case, I have my CSR because I created this one. The missing file is the bundle. So I can click on bundle over here. I can view the bundle. We have the subject, and the subject is my intermediate. And this was signed by the issuer, which is the root CA. If we scroll down, we can see a second certificate where the subject is the root CA and the issuer was also the same guy, the root CA as well. I can just download this bundle, put in my folder, and then there we go. Now we have the private key, we have the signed certificate, and we have the bundle. All the links and additional information will be available in the description down below. Thanks for watching.